Golden Wanda Killifish Care Guide, Tank Size, Diet and more. Category rating: Care level, easy. Temperament, peaceful. Color form, brightly colored. Lifespan, up to 4 years. Size, 4 inches. Diet, carnivore. Family, Applicalidae. Minimum tank size, 20 gallons, 75-liter tank setup, freshwater with plants and caves. Compatibility: fish same size as anything smaller will get 8. Overview: nowadays, you'll discover killifish available to be purchased in most fish stores. The Golden Wanda punchax is the aquarium-made strain of the striped Applicylus lineatus or Indian striped punchax. In its characteristic structure, the Wanda woolly fish can reach up to 4 inches in size and is mainstream due to its intriguing shading. Despite the fact that the Golden Wanda killifish is moderately simple to think about, the species can be forceful with some littler fish. In a perfect world, these fish ought to be kept in a network tank with bigger quiet fish. Origins and habitat. The striped punchax, Applicylus lineatus, first portrayed by Cuvier and Valenciennes in 1846. The species is broadly dispersed all through Sri Lanka and peninsular India, where it is otherwise called the Malabar killi, striped punchax, killifish picky, and stribet punchax. The fish live at high heights in streams and stores, just as bogs, waterways, fields, and moderate moving salty water. In their local India, killifish are utilized in specific zones for mosquito control. At present, the species isn't viewed as imperiled. The Applicylus lineatus benefits from little amphibian creepy crawlies, shellfish, waterway worms, bug hatchlings, and mosquitoes that land on the outside of the water. Description: the Golden Wanda killifish is a little, slim-bodied fish that develops to be about 4 inches long and can live in imprisonment for around 4 years. The fish's dorsal blade is set toward the back of the body, and the back is somewhat angled. The killifish has a level head with a sharp nose and an improved mouth without bubbles. The Golden Wanda's body is a shining bronze shading with a dissipating of metallic brilliant scales. In adolescents and females, the fish's back half is finished with dim vertical stripes. Variations of the Applicylus incorporate the Golden Wanda killifish, which can have a red tail or a tail that conveys red and white external flaps. Care of Golden Wanda killifish. When setting up a hostage situation for Golden Wanda killifish, it's ideal to attempt to imitate the fish's wild natural surroundings. Tank size. Brilliant Wandas live generally in the top piece of the aquarium, so the best size of a tank to pick is one that is long as opposed to tall. The base tank size ought to be in any event 20 gallons, 75-liter, or bigger. As these fish are practiced jumpers, you'll have to pick an aquarium that has a tight-fitting top and spread slides to forestall getaway. Tank environment. The killifish is a solid animal varieties that live in a domain where the water is moderately still and vigorously forested with amphibian vegetation. Skimming plants, for example, the smaller person water lettuce, are thusly appropriate for consideration in the aquarium, as are tall plants that can be utilized to make a forested impact. Brilliant Wanda killifish are essentially meat-eating, so your plants won't be harmed. You may likewise prefer to include tangles of driftwood, caverns, and rough outcrops, which would give extra sanctuary. The Golden Wanda killifish is a cultivated jumper, and therefore, your tank must have a firmly fitting top and spread slides. To show your fish's hues at their best, a dull substrate and a faintly lit arrangement work well indeed. Water conditions. Albeit basically a freshwater animal types, the killifish can live in harsh water, and, on the off chance that you need to, you can make that condition by adding a few teaspoons of aquarium salt per 21 to 22 gallons, 79 to 83 liter, of water. The perfect water temperature that Golden Wanda killifish like is somewhere in the range of 72.0 and 77.0 Fahrenheit. The water pH extent is best kept somewhere in the range of 6.0 and 7.5. with hardness somewhere in the range of 5 and 20 dgh. Filtration. Brilliant wonders are more lenient to variable water conditions than some different types of killifish. All things considered, it is significant that you keep up flawless water conditions in your tank. Utilize a filtration framework that is the correct size for your aquarium, and do fortnightly water changes of in any event 30%. The killifish inclines toward delicate water development, so modify your filtration framework as needs be or support it with tall, thick planting or rough outcrops. As killifish are basically surface feeders, you ought to either incorporate base taking care of scroungers, for example, Corydoras catfish in the network, or vacuum the substrate consistently to expel uneaten nourishment. Tank mates. The golden wonder killifish is a ruthless animal type with a shockingly wide mouth. Consequently, you ought to never incorporate little fish, for example, neon tetras or danios, in a network tank with aplochilus, as they could become lunch. A similar standard applies to little types of shrimp, albeit bigger assortments, for example, amanos, ought to be protected. All things considered, this assortment of killifish are tranquil and will live in concordance with medium-sized to huge non-forceful fish that don't possess the upper environs of the aquarium. Despite the fact that not carefully are tutoring animal types, you can securely keep golden wonders in gatherings of up to 4 people. Diet and taking care of. These fish are basically carnivores, and they need an assortment of solidified substantial nourishments that reproduces their characteristic eating regimen of creepy crawlies and bug hatchlings that the fish take from the outside of the water. Most loved nourishments incorporate white mosquito hatchlings and bloodworms. Additionally, Daphnia and nutrient-improved saltwater shrimp will be valued. Live nourishment assists with keeping the fish's hues striking and is additionally significant when you're bringing a couple into reproducing condition. Brilliant wonders are not particular eaters, and they will likewise take great quality piece and pellet nourishments. When sourcing live nourishments, make certain to utilize a trustworthy provider and never source creepy crawlies or hatchlings from the wild condition, as you could unintentionally bring parasites and infections into your locale tank. To keep your fish healthy, feed them a few little dinners for each day and make certain to give a changed eating routine. Illness. Killifish are commonly strong, and if your aquarium is very much kept up, you shouldn't have an issue with sickness. All things considered, bacterial maladies and velvet can now and again influence the species. Take care to appropriately spotless or isolate any things that you mean to add to a built-up network tank arrangement, including plants, fish, substrate, enhancements, and spineless creatures. Because of the pinchax's versatility to ailment, flare-ups can for the most part be contained in the event that they are managed early enough. All fish are progressively defenseless to sickness in the event that they are focused. Along these lines, give your examples the best consideration and condition that you can to keep issues from happening. Reproducing. Brilliant wonder killifish can be effectively raised in imprisonment by the sharp specialist. In the event that you like reproducing your fish, take care to pick a gathering of people that contains male and female examples. The two genders are generally simple to recognize. Male fish are bigger and more brilliant than their female partners. Likewise, the male fish have a more pointed butt-centric balance than the females. Pick a couple of very much molded fish and move them to a soft water rearing tank that is planted with a lot of thick fine-leaved and coasting plants. The huge eggs are kept among the surface plants. From that point, it's fitting to move the eggs to a developing on-tank to forestall the parent fish from eating them. Then again, expel the parent fish from the rearing tank once bringing forth has wrapped up. One generating generally creates somewhere in the range of 100 and 150 eggs, in spite of the fact that upwards of 250 have been accounted for. The eggs ordinarily incubate inside 11 to 14 days, contingent upon the temperature in the tank. At the point where the fry first bring forth, they have an egg sac connected to their tummies, on which they will take care of for a couple of days. At the point when the egg sac has vanished and the fry is free swimming, they can be offered finely powdered fry nourishment and recently brought forth saline solution shrimp. To forestall human flesh consumption, you should isolate the bigger fry from the little ones. In summary, the golden wonder fish can make a pleasant expansion to a tranquil network arrangement, gave that the tank mates you pick are bigger, in spite of the fact that the species isn't a forceful one. It's ideal to guarantee that different inhabitants of a tank are not of a size that could make lunch for your golden wonder. Brilliant wanders are moderately tough and simple to keep. Along these lines, in case you're searching for an appealing fish to add to your assortment, your pursuit could be finished.